Hello YouTube, and welcome to Cars, Grilling, and Technology. My name is Will, and today I got a quick, easy recipe that I'm doing today. What we're going to do is some country style ribs. I've got like a pan and a half here, and we got these from Costco, so it's not anything fancy, just something you can get every day from Costco. And this is a really simple recipe, but it really turns out really good. Where I'm going to start off with the Harry Sue Slap Your Daddy barbecue rub. If you watch any of my other videos, you'll know that this is like my go-to rub right now. I'm not against trying other rubs, but this one has always worked for me. If there's any suggestions anyone has that I should try, feel free to leave that in the comments. We're just going to go ahead and get a coating of this on these Western style ribs. And how I do these is I usually do them for a couple of hours at 225. Then after that, I put them in some liquid and then wrap the pan in order to get them tender. That just seems to work a little bit faster and better for me. And it also adds another layer of flavor. The liquid that I'm going to use when I put them in the pan after they've been on the grill for a couple of hours is just a simple solution. I use some apple juice, some apple cider vinegar, and then maybe a couple of tablespoons of the rub that I'm using, and just mix it all together and pour it in the pan. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm going to go ahead and finish seasoning these up, and then I'll meet you at the Yoder YS640. This is Will. I am back out at the grill. As you see, I've got my foil and my liquid. What this is I've got a cup. It's just something simple. Like I said, it's a cup of apple cider vinegar, then also a cup of apple cider with maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons of the rub. So what I do, I just pour this bottom of the pan. You know, nothing really fancy here. And we're going to take a look at these. These are coming along quite nice. They've got some good color on them. And they're kind of tender, but we want to get them even more tender. So we're just going to just line these up in here. More of these. And then what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to go ahead and wrap them in the foil. Then I'll show you what that looks like, and then I'm going to put them back on. So it's been an hour. So I'm going to open this up carefully. Smell really good. Let's check the tenderness here. I always use a toothpick. Oh, these are tender. I'm going to give them about 15 more minutes, then we're going to pull them off. So I ended up leaving everything on for another 45 minutes. Had another project I was working on and I wasn't done, so I said it didn't make any sense to rush them, so I went ahead and let them on. This is the first time I'm opening this up. And they look fantastic. And they're nice and tender. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but they're just falling apart. So getting the juice in there and leaving them on there for the 45 minutes really has got these really soft and tender. I mean, the bone is just coming right out of these. Usually with Western ribs, they're not this tender. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this. If you like Western ribs, this is a good way to do them. It took about maybe 3.5 hours, low and slow temperature. But once you get them in the liquid and let them just start slowly working, and they get nice and tender, the solution I made with the apple cider vinegar and apple juice gives it a nice flavor along with a little bit of extra seasoning on it. But this was definitely a win. He said this is something you can do, pretty easily right after work, as long as you plan. I'm going to say if you were going to do this after work, I would season the meat before you go to work. That way you can just heat up your smoker and get these things on. But this is a really good way to do Western style ribs. And until the next time, this is Will, and I'll see you on Cars, Grilling, and Technology. Thanks for watching.